Okay, good evening, guys and girls. Welcome back to FTRL for round 9 for the Division 2 Championship of Season 8. It's certainly flown by this season, but we are at the iconic circuit of Spa in Belgium, and regularly joined by Mr. Joe Burns, and that is exactly the case this evening. And also, for the first time, I'll be commentating with Remco. So, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very good as always.
Good. Always happy, you and your Remco. Can't say the same for Joe. But, no. How we looking forward to this one?
Yeah, very much.
If
Hopefully,
it was... go on.
rain at some point.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. That will certainly spice things up a little bit. I think we'll get a rough idea whether it's going to rain or not, judging by the lap times. Because if people have wet setups, then they're going to be nowhere near as quick as what you'd think. I don't think many of the guys, without being too disrespectful, will get close to the top 4 or 5 from Division 1 last night, because they were just insane laps. But I think if anybody can get into the high 41s, low 42s, that'll be a very, very good time. But if we don't see him as close to that, then I imagine we're going to see some rain at some stage. And with it being Belgium, you can't predict anything. But yeah, anyway, after last night's race, with how close that was, and I mean, once again, Dutch Tricks pulls through and takes the win. Are you hoping to see, what do you think we're going to see the similar sort of race, nice and close? Or do you think it'll be a bit more spread out?
There's been a few races this season where it's been a bit spread out. So hopefully we see some close battling, like at Hungary. Quite close battles all sort of race along. So I'm sure around here we'll get some close battles, especially with the Renault boys. They always seem quite close together. So
Exactly. Well,
Personally, I feel like this race will be very close because it's Belgium. There are lots of places to gain some DRS and slipstream. So I'm calling for some good battles. So.
well, let's certainly hope so. Most of the guys opt in for the super softs, and a couple of them on the softs. Now, the fact that there's not one person on the medium tyres, does that shout out rain to you, lads? Or am
No,
I just...
actually, I just think that everyone is going for 3 stints of super softs, and there's no need to put in a medium run.
Yeah,
Because yesterday I also set my time on the first stint of the super, so they are good enough to set a quick lap in the first stint. So let's see.
Well, I'm not sure on that, because then there's always normally 1 or 2 people that like to go out on the mediums first of all. I don't think every single driver on the grid will go for the super softs unless there was a reason for it. But we'll have to wait and see.
Softs, so.
Yeah, I think we'll get a better indication at the end of qualifying. But I mean, a 141. First of all, Nexus Alaska, we're on board with, who's decided to cut the entire track. He was formerly known as SSR Cooper, so we will have to wait and see. On board with Goy Karp going up a Rouge.
First time set is a 44.1
Yeah.
on Nexus Cats.
Well, I know Goy's been putting in a lot of practice today, so let's hope that he can put some form of a lap together and get his first points of the season. I imagine that a Rouge and Pouon and a couple of other corners will we'll see a few victims there tonight. So I think anybody that finishes, I think, will be scoring points tonight, if not very close to it. I think we'll see a few retirements. Are we in agreement with that statement?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Sure.
I think if Guy's going to get a points finish, this race is probably the likely one.
Well, I will say that Goy Karp is actually, like, all jokes aside, is actually fairly good at Russia. And we have that next week. So don't count him out just yet. But we're on board with Goy. Come through the final sector. I'm going to... come on, let's hazard a guess what his lap time is going to be. Closest to it wins.
45.5.
I'm going to go 48.1.
47.6.
It really ended. No, he
Okay.
got in the pits.
Well, no one called that, so we all lose.
Too bad.
Right, so we're going to go on board with Tomo,
CJ
who
just
is...
okay.
Go on. Go on, Remco.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to point out that CJ was just starting his laps, but you were going on board with Tomo, so we'll go with Tomo.
Yeah, well, I think Tomo might have invalidated because he's in low ERS mode. All I was going to say
that's
was...
normal, actually.
Well, the thing is with Tomo, 3 pole positions this season. He's got loads of second places. Will tonight be the night he can do it? I imagine that CJ is the heavy favourite for it, but Tomo's getting closer.
Garney's just started his lap as well. And time back into the pits. I think Blue Flag might be the next driver to cross the line. The music, always nice.
Yeah. My other half just getting the stream copyrighted. So any sponsorship money to help pay those copyright claims, please contact Full Throttle Racing League at gmail.com. Now, one thing I must mention, good to see Preheated Oven back. Had a few weeks out, and it's lovely to see him back on track now. CJ's coming to the line. It's not going to be pole, it's going to be P4, so he's 8 tenths slower than Tomo at this stage. Well, the Force India 1-2, look at that.
Yep.
Force India 1-2,
Michael
6
C told me
thousandths of
that
a
he was going
second.
for it today.
Yeah, Michael C always goes for it and normally ends up in a wall, so I wouldn't...
I think he's put in a lot of practice into this one, and I personally feel like he can get a good result.
I hope he does. Yeah, that's a very good time from Prototype Steph. 43.9.
Tenth of CJ on harder tyres.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, not a bad time at all.
Where is my old mate Pagani? He's come down to finish a lap. I don't think he's... It's going to be a timed one. It's not. Something must have happened. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go on board with Pagani for a lap around around Spa.
That's a very short lap.
Yeah, I've just got a Rouge stuck in my head because I know we're going to see a few crashes there tonight. One thing I will say, fact about Pagani, which I will say after he goes up a Rouge. Okay, right, cool. Pagani has won here before. He won here in the performance race that we had, not this season, last season, and he won quite comfortably, I believe. So, never count out Mr. Pagani.
Pagani is a very quick driver.
Very talented driver.
Definitely a Div 1 standard driver, but
100%. The only thing about Pagani, he's had really poor luck this season, and his lowest finish is still only 6th. With all of the bad stuff that's happened to him, and he's only 20 points off of the promotion spot. So with Matt Causey's form at the moment, then you never know what might happen.
Hammertime's just started as well, and so has Goikart.
Yeah. Well, coming into tonight, CJ was 35 points clear of Tomo, who was in second, and Tomo was 1 point clear of Hammertime, who's in third. So it's all very close at the top.
Yeah, what I'm really interested to see is what CJ is going to do. Now he has a lead of 35 points. Is he going to get just? Is he going to slow down? Is he going to avoid incidents, or is he going to battle still as hard as he has? It's really going to be interesting. What do you guys think he will do?
I mean, I'm never going to be in this situation, but if I was, I would just keep driving flat out until the championship is won. Once that's done, then you take it as easy as you like. But yeah.
Well, that looked like a better lap than it was from Pagani. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from it. He didn't seem to do much wrong. The only thing that I thought he could have maybe done a bit better was take Poo on with a bit more kind of ambition. But yeah, I really think these are wet setups that we're seeing.
I think so too, actually, because it's 43s. I mean,
There's no.
I'm sure they can do for the 42s. So.
There's no way on this earth that I know. Obviously, that the top guys of Div 1 are insanely fast, but there is no way that they are 2 seconds a lap faster than Tomo.
Yeah, for sure. 42.9 for Hammer time now.
I think if we see anybody at the low 42s, I'd put a lot of money on this. Right, Goy Karp, breaking news, is not last.
And he said they're 46 too, so I think I was closest.
Yeah, no, but that was only on the last lap, Remco. You're just cheating now.
Okay.
Look at these, the two Ferraris giving each other slipstream. Well, they was until... Yeah, a bit pre-rehearsed this, but remember they crashed into each other and
Giving a
Mackel's got
toe
a
can be
penalty.
really powerful here. I think Tico and Dutch also did that yesterday, because Tico was 1.5 tenths up from Plexits. So, yeah. It's really powerful to get a toe from your teammate.
Well, I'm fit. I've just seen something in the old admin chat. I believe Goy Karp was due to serve a qualifying ban tonight.
Really? Why?
Yeah, but then again, I don't think he was reminded by anyone, so he may have to just serve that next week. Then again, it's at Russia, so he's going to be devastated. But, well, admin's fault, I believe, on that one.
Unless he pulls over at the start and just lets everybody by.
He tends to do that. Tends to do that anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, let's see what's going on. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you a question. Who is your dark horse for the race this evening? I'm currently spectating my choice.
Tomo.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what a dark horse is.
Somebody that would have a really good result who isn't like first or second in the championship.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm still putting my money on Michael C today.
Yeah,
If you will get a podium, or close to a podium.
I'm going to
When
go
it's
with...
raining, I think when it's raining, I'm going to put it on Pagani actually. Of course,
Yeah.
he seems to be comfortable in the wet. Set a good time in time trial. So yeah, Pagani will be.
Pagani would be a very
My dark
sensible
horse.
choice. If it's raining, Pagani 100%. If it's a dry race, then the man I'm currently spectating, because he is so close to getting a very, very good result, and that is City Posh Blue. He had a third a couple of weeks ago, but he's qualified really well since. His pace has got so much better. He just needs to find that little bit more consistency now, but he's certainly getting better. Start of the season he was around 9th, 10th every week, and now he's in qualifying, and now he's right up there at the top, so good on him is what I say to that.
Definitely think there's rain anyway, because with 3 minutes left, you'd expect these times to be a hell of a lot lower.
Yeah, and every single driver is on the super soft tyre, so normally there's someone that's trying to start on the softs or start on the mediums and get a good qualifying under the belt or something. There's no way on this earth that all 17 drivers are going for the exact same strategy. CJ Payne coming up towards the end of his
Just
lap.
watching the pit lane in a minute. Pagani's just come out. Guy Carp has gone out of the pits and straight across the track and into the wall. That was interesting.
If Pagani can get himself around 7th, 8th, something like that, and it is raining, I would seriously fancy him tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Pagani is very, very mad quick in the wet.
Yeah, I'm going to let you occupy the commentary booth for just a second. Goy Karp's been disqualified anyway, so that's probably what he's doing. He's probably just remembered he's got his quali ban, so he's disqualified himself.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right, I'm going to let you occupy the booth. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, who is Aaron on board with now?
I'm still here, so if you talk, I'll skip to them.
Ah, okay.
Right, well,
I see.
Michael C has just started a lap. Or it's just... No, I think he's just finished a lap. No, just started one.
I just started. So can you talk us through? I mean, if we are on board with him, then Aaron, can you put in to an onboard screen for the TV pod? If you can talk us through the corners, Joe.
I can certainly try. No idea what any of these names are, but I think he's slowed down actually. He must have invalidated. Oh, Tomo's
Yeah, it's going too slow.
in sector 3. Not entirely sure what's happening there. Yeah,
So Michael C said at 42.6 actually.
Yes, that's really nice. Very good time. CJ, is he coming to the end of all that? Yeah, I think he is. He's got very low ERS.
Ooh, CJ retired from the session. What happened to him?
Maybe he just thought the lap time wasn't good enough, so pointless putting it in.
I mean, I know he won't be happy with a 43, just like Tomo with 43. I think they'll be hoping for more, but I think many drivers will get into the 42s this lap. At least 3, I'm calling. 3 more.
Let's have a look. FTRL helmet time, currently on all that. Blue flag is just about to finish one. Or what? No, he did a 46.2. Okay, he must have been validated, or he's just started.
No, I think so too.
I've returned. I'm on board with Pagani. Let's see what he can muster up in all this.
Oh. I was going to say that curve is very dodgy.
Certainly a lot more commitment through Puon. And if just for the viewers, I'm not as knowledgeable about the tracks as Blue Flag is, so if you want factual content, then I suggest you tune into Div 1. If you want to laugh and me make a mockery of the French and Belgian language, then come and join us here, because I will make corner names up as the night goes on.
Well, for any tactical comments about the track, you can always come to me or Joe.
Yeah,
I think.
there is that. Right, Pagani coming through the final chicane, and this is going to be an improvement. This is going to be a 43.7 P5. If this is raining, my money is on Pagani, and I'm putting my hand down in a motion like I'm slapping money on the table.
He had a few jokes with me in yesterday's stream, but there's no joke I can pull out now because he's done a good lap and put himself 5th.
I'm going to call that sort of, I think it's Blanchimont, I think, that sort of left curvy, but I'm going to call it the croissant for the evening.
What?
So,
you mean the one before Eau Rouge?
no.
Hammer time, this improves. 1/10.
There we
Which
go.
left kink are you on about?
Before the final chicane,
Oh.
the long straight. I think it is Blanchimont, and I'm pretty sure Simon will back me up on that. But
I don't think Blue Flag will be happy with this one. Being in P14,
no, he won't
probably
be.
invalidating his lap.
No, this has got to be a wet race.
And Steph goes 5th, actually.
Yeah, good lap from Steph.
And we have the current champion in P8. Don't think that's where he wants to be.
Well, middle of the pack, going up a Rouge, lap 1 in probable wet weather. Let's see.
Very likely. Very likely.
Let's see what he can do.
Finished 7th.
With a wet setup, then a 42.5 isn't that bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Actually quite quick.
Going off his recent qualifying, that's pretty good qualifying.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to cut in quickly. So pole position, hammer time 95, and he's 300ths quicker than City Bosch Blue, who's alongside him on the front row. Michael Seeger qualifying from him alongside his teammate Tomo in P4. Prototype Steph, good session from him in P5 with Pagani alongside him. Preheated oven on his first race back for a long time, P7. Matt Cause in P8. CJ Payne in 9th. And Nexus Cat rounds off the top 10. Then we've got Hammer Time, Bendel, Paul James, Blue Flag, Asian Panda, Nexus Alaska, and Goikart rounding off the grid. Sorry to cut in on you there, gentlemen.
That's okay.
Really offended.
Well, if you don't like it, you know where the door is, Joe.
Oh, rain.
There we go, called it.
Yeah, it's going to be full wet, I think, too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all of the signs are there.
Intermediates.
Is this full race long, or...?
If it's full race long, I suggest everyone goes to the toilet and gets their cups of tea now, because we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, probably.
Right, I'm going to put you boys on the spot. I want a top 3 in order before the race has even begun.
Pagani P1. And then I'm gonna go Tomo second. And Hammer Time 95 third.
Okay, Remco.
I did say my dark horse was Pagani for this race, but I want to come back at that and just put CJ just on top of the, like on the first step, on the top step. You say, I mean. So CJ on first, second Pagani then, and third is going to be Michael C.
Okay, right. Well, I'm going to go with a Tomo win. I'm going to go with Pagani second and CJ third. But formation lap. Does anyone fancy giving it a go, or shall I do it this evening?
You can do it today.
Shocking from you lot. Shocking. Okay.
I don't mind doing it. I do it every week.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Right, so on pole we've got Hammer Time 95 currently sitting third in the championship. This is his second pole position of the season. City Posh Blue out qualifying his teammate, the championship leader, alongside him, alongside Hammer Time on the front row, shall I say. Michael C in P3, currently down in 12th in the championship. Desperately needs some points tonight, and he's currently out qualifying his teammate for the start of this race. Tomo in P4, 1 point ahead of Hammer Time in second in the championship, and he needs a good result tonight to have any chance of winning the championship. P5 we've got Prototype Steph, who's currently 7 points behind Willie Tix, his teammate, and Willie Tix isn't here tonight, so Steph could jump his teammate with a good result this evening. Then we have got Pagani. Sixth seems to be his theme this season. He's finished there 4 times so far, and qualifying there tonight as well, and he's on 66 points, funnily enough. So conspiracy, I think not. Preheated Oven in P7, ninth in the championship, has got on the podium once this season, and that was in Monaco after a few races away. How fresh will he be? Matt Caw's down in P8. He's continuing his pretty poor run of qualifying results, giving himself more work to do in the race, and with the top 3 slightly pulling away from him, he definitely needs a good result. Then we've got CJ Payne, the championship leader, starting P9 tonight, so we're definitely going to see whether he is championship winning material, although he has won the last 6 races on the bounce, so you can kind of forgive him for one poor qualifying. Then we've got Nexus Cats, has had 2 races in FTRL. He's had a DNF and a P5, so not too sure on his consistency, and he did actually get pole position last week as well, so never write him off. And then in P11 and P12 we've got the 2 hash drivers, Hammer Time and Bendel, currently pretty close in the championship. Bendel in 10th on 22 points, Hammer Time is only 4 points behind him on 18, so that'll be very close, I imagine, for the duration of the race. Then we've got Paul James in 13th, desperately needs some points, and we've got Blue Flag 14th place. He needs a good result tonight to have any chance of promotion. And we've got Agent Panda, who's currently outscoring his teammate by 1 point in the championship. Goy Carp, who's last, and we've got Nexus Alaska in between them, and that rounds off the grid.
Cracking.
Not bad that. Not bad that at all. Right, so we've got an awful view for the start of the race, but we are for 5 red lights at Spa. And his lights out, and away we go. Prototype Steph's got a drive-through penalty for a jump start. Hammer Time 95's had a very good start from what I can see so far. Quite a lot of weaving going on. City Posh has run wide. Oh, there's a lot of contact at the back. Pagani's up to P3 already. Look at him go. Going to go up a rouge for the first time on pretty chilled tyres. Anybody going to lose it? No.
Off.
Pagani's on a mission. City Posh Blue's coming back at him though. City Posh Blue.
Michael C on the outside. Not going to make it work. Nope.
But yeah, Pagani concedes position. Sensible to do. CJ Payne's up 4 places already in P5, so he certainly means business. Tomo's dropped down to 6th. Prototype Steph's had a really poor start.
He's struggling quite a bit.
Ooh, Pagani.
Yeah, Pagani's alright. I don't think he's not going to push too hard at the start of the race, Pagani.
Well, he is.
Oh, he's had a
Going down the inside through the fast, through Puyum.
Pagani.
Interesting.
Oh, that was close. Very. Pagani
He's
definitely.
clearly faster than City Push.
Yeah, he is. He just needs to find his moment.
Yeah, getting held up quite a bit here.
Got a yellow in
Somebody-
sector 2.
Oh,
That is.
preheated oven is off on Nexus. I think they've had a massive crash.
Well, that's 2 retirements on the first lap. Michael
Not
C.
the best comeback from the preheated oven.
No, Michael C.
Oh,
Who's that?
hammer time coming off. Hammer
Time's
time.
off.
He's just saved it. That's very well done by him.
DJ's gonna get past him as well. Tomo might be having a look.
Hammer
Our
time
race
95.
leader and our pole sitter into P5.
Matt Cause hasn't moved up any places. Right, blue flag is up 7 positions.
Yeah.
Crazy start.
Yeah, the 2
Pagani going
Renaults.
for a move, a switchback maybe, to make Aaron proud.
FTRL hammer time in the pits.
Right, what's happened to C? Right, no, it was hammer time, wasn't it? Sorry, it's my fault.
Oh, side by side, Pagani and City Push.
Who's got the bottle?
No way, they're going to do this.
Pagani's sensible. Yeah,
Not in the rain.
Pagani's
Now he's
sensible.
really close.
He wouldn't do that.
It's gonna
Ooh.
get
Almost contact again.
Oh, City Bosch.
He's off.
Goodbye.
Light contact, but in the rain it can be everything.
Yeah, the problem is though, if City Posh lifted and Pagani didn't, then it's just one of those things, isn't it? There's not much
Yeah.
you can do about it.
Very unfortunate.
Right.
But Michael C getting a 2.2 second lead now.
Yeah, well, blue flag's up 8 places in 1 lap.
Yeah, very good start. So
Yeah.
we've now lost 4 cars.
Okay, well, Goy Karp is currently running in the points.
And by quite some margin. Nearly 4 seconds.
Well, there we go. Crazy start to the race, and Goy Karp is within what would be DRS range of Bendel in P9. Now, I know Goy's been doing a lot of practice today, but has he done a lot of wet weather practice? My guess is no.
I'm very interested to see who is the fastest car on track. We will see that in just a second.
Yeah. I imagine it will be blue flag.
Blue flag is really he's on a mission.
Yeah, he really is. He's already pulled out basically a second on Matt Cause. Ooh. Okay. Gutted for City Posh, but it just looked like one of those things, unfortunately. It's yeah, this is very congested.
Blue flag
Pagani,
already within 5/10 of Tono. Absolutely flying right now.
yeah. Well, apparently it's still Michael C, but Pagani's brought that gap down. And Pagani's pulling away from CJ as well. Well,
Yeah, CJ had a little bit of a moment coming out of the chicane.
right. Well, Paul James is 4.5 seconds behind Matt Core, so the top 7 seem to be pulling away from this one.
Did you guys see who set the fastest lap? Because I didn't.
I think it was
it was
Michael
Michael.
C. Matt
Okay.
Core's challenging blue flag and go around the outside at the end of the Kemmel Straight. And that blue flag holds it. He'll do well to get past blue flag. Other than that, it's all fairly spread out already.
Yeah. It's going to be a very, very long race for Steph and FTRL hammer time if it's raining the whole way. We're already miles behind. So,
Closest battle on track right now is Blue Flag versus Matt Course.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
Matt
Matt
Core's
Core's
having a
moments.
wobble. Yeah. I love how all of us go, oh, Matt Core's. Like in
Pagani
sync with
is
it.
now under a second and a half. He is reeling that Force India in.
This is the pace we want to see. This is the Pagani we know.
DJ's fallen back as well. Got hammer time all over his
Yeah.
gearbox.
So look, Pagani's now within a second. CJ
Yeah.
Payne is 2.7 seconds behind Pagani already.
And the rain is still pouring down, so it doesn't look like it's coming to an end very soon.
No, exactly.
It might be a full wet race for the entire race.
Just gonna check on
Michael
the,
C going too deep on that one. Into the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, the only thing we need to make...
Pagani makes up for it.
If I was Michael C in his position, obviously he wants to be winning and leading races and stuff. He also needs to remember that even if he does lose the position to Pagani, being in second is still extremely good.
So yeah, currently the fastest car on track is Pagani, as you guys predicted.
Okay, right, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments in the stream. So we have got Raver's Revenge in there talking about Goy Carp saying he's cheating. CJ's in there, not CJ, Chicken Guy's in there saying he thinks CJ's still going to win. Michael Korsgaard in there, so hello again. Saying patience, patience.
Oh, Matt Cole's making a move on blue flag. Oh, blue flag's held it.
Going to stay close. City Posh being very honest in there, considering what's happened, so I'm going to have a look at the incident, but for sure Pagani didn't mean it. So good to see that even though what's just happened has happened, he's not lost his head. So credit to you for that, mate. And it's very unlucky as well. Very unlucky.
So CJ is definitely struggling in these conditions, as he's 3 seconds down on Pagani already. Michael C in the grass, lifting off as he shoots, taking his loss of time, but not making the mistake to also spin around. So keeps the car on track.
There we go. Pagani is leading the race.
And we very well might be seeing a clear charge now from Pagani. Who's clearing the track with clearing the Michael C. Ooh, in the grass.
Oh, Pagani nearly hit the wall.
I'm not saying anything about Pagani anymore.
Yeah, that was very, very close.
Oh god. Yeah, Michael C lifted, nice and sensible. No, Michael C lifted there, sensible. Doesn't need to do anything silly here because he's got 2.5 seconds to CJ. Matt Core still standing on the back of this little train that's formed behind CJ. See, the problem Matt Coles has got is I think he's quicker than Blue Flag, but he's going to have trouble getting past him, especially in these conditions.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Blue Flag is very well known for how well he can defend, especially you know, in dry weather, but in wet weather it's even harder to overtake. So,
Goy Karp just picked up a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limit. So, wondering what Goy has done there.
10 seconds. That must be cutting the bus stop chicane, I think.
Well, Matt Cors, we're going to see a move here on Blue Flag. If he's got that straight line speed, which it doesn't look like he has, he's going to brake late. No, he's going to try and. He's just going to have to suck him behind. This is going to be the theme
really
for Matt Cors.
To make a move.
Yeah, it's going to be the theme for his race.
It's going to be really difficult without DRS to get close to Blue Flag, who is a good defending driver. I think Matt Cors has to overtake in the strangest corners, maybe in the second sector.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Goy Karp has a fairly comfortable gap to Prototype Steph. I imagine that will come down a little bit, but nevertheless he's been running in the points and he's there on merit, so good on him.
Can I just say, those clouds look to be disappearing. There's a lot of gaps up there.
On which driver screen do you see that?
Yeah, the rain's certainly calming down.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nowhere near as heavy as what it was. Ooh, changing conditions could we see? Well, Chicken Guy served his last day as an admin today, and you'll see why in the stream chat. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The less said about that, the better. So thank you for your time, Chicken Guy, but your services are no longer required. I mean, you're lucky it's not 9 o'clock past the watershed, otherwise I would swear at you. Alright, well, okay. Looking at this...
Just read it.
Yeah.
Oh, FTRL helmet times hit the wall.
Oh dear.
He was trying to go past Agent Panda. He thought he would be adventurous and try...
Has he lost wing? Yeah, he's lost wing.
Yeah, and he's slammed into the wall.
I would wait, personally, rather than pit now. Yeah.
Prototype Steph has overtaken Agent Panda and is now...
Of course, really close to Blue Flag again. Of course, Blue Flag defending the inside for this one. Of course, again the outside. Can he break later than Blue Flag now? I think he will. It just doesn't get it right. Nope.
It's been identical for the last 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, Blue Flag's comfortable doing that though.
More creative and try a different corner. Maybe the bus stop chicane. Maybe somewhere in this corner, maybe after the Camel Straight.
Oh, Michael
many
C.
options.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost it. He got on the curb a little bit too much and put the power down. He's gone wide.
Yeah,
Very wide there as well.
the conditions do seem quite tricky, but Pagani looks in fairly good control at the moment. But only time will tell. But he's certainly gaining that advantage, and the gap between Pagani and CJ has extended by about a tenth.
Yeah, I think Paul James has had a moment as well because Guy and Steph have gone past him.
Yeah, conditions are getting quite tricky.
And I think he's
Oh,
also
blue flag, so close to the wall.
Yeah.
Sticking his little time, so Metcalfe can now try a bust up
Hammer
chicane
time
move. He
is
has to go flat out through
CJ
Branchimel. Does he go flat out through Branchimel? He doesn't. He lifts off completely and then loses the momentum. Also picking up a penalty, so not a very good lap by him. I think he wanted more out of that.
CJ pits.
Right, CJ is pitted, so we're going to go onto the tyres and see whether he ends up on the intermediates. I imagine it will be.
It's very early though.
It's an early call, but never know. It could be the right one.
And are we seeing intermediates on the Sauber squads? I think we are.
Yep.
And Bendel also trying the inters now.
Matt Cause is
he's
so
changing the
close
wing
to
as
blue
well,
flag.
CJ.
Oh, okay.
Matt Cause has had a good run.
Oh, we have yellow in sector
Hammer
3.
time. FTRL hammer time.
Oh, it's Paul James trying to get into the pit lane and, well, kind of
Matt
overshooting
Cause.
it.
Yeah, he ran himself too deep. Blue flag had a good line.
So, let's look at the gap between CJ and Matt Course now. It's 17.5 seconds. I think it's intermediate conditions now.
Yeah.
It's definitely on a changeover point.
I imagine we'll see Pagani going at the end of this lap. And then I think
Yeah.
most of the other drivers will follow suit.
And Belgium being a very long track, this kind of move from CJ can definitely work in his favor, but also, yeah, of course, against him.
What's the gap to the leader? What's he got? 26.8. Let's keep an eye on that for a
CJ
second.
just caught up with Matt Course with 1 second in one sector only, so
Yeah, it's definitely
it's evident
intermediate
which
time.
tire is better now. Very good goal by CJ. The championship leader making such a bold move, but working out so far. 1.5 second gained.
The gap
You could
between
say that's why he's championship leader.
yeah, the gap between CJ and Pagani has stayed pretty much the exact same. So I think at this point the tyres are.
Well, there's your answer. Pagani pits.
Ooh.
Tries to avoid the wall. Michael is in as well. Hand time in.
I think CJ will be very close to Pagani now,
Yeah.
It's going to be close. Everybody's
within
coming.
1 second I guess. So the pit exit will be interesting, as Plexus got damaged yesterday because he was afraid of the guys in front.
Right, where is CJ?
Tyres on. Pagani is out.
CJ
He's
coming
just
around the
gone forward
final
chicane.
corner.
Ooh, it will be close.
Yeah, Pagani's
No, Pagani got it. Also a good lead over CJ still.
Pagani's gained time on Michael C there slightly as well. Just a couple of attempts.
They've had a pit entry.
Didn't CJ lose some time there? I mean, was he so far back?
Well, no, he had a wing change, didn't he?
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Then-
Guy Carper's stayed out on the wets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now Bendel has pit for the Inters already, and he's only 5 seconds behind now as well.
Like, with the greatest respect in the world, Guy Carp is actually running net sort of like the point scoring position here. Now, he doesn't want to jeopardise that because he's driving well. He needs to go into the pits and pop on the Inters.
He's
100%.
definitely on P10 now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he will come out behind Steph at this point.
Exactly. He just
Especially with
doesn't
the
want to
time
lose
that
himself
he's
too
probably
much
using
time.
those tyres as well.
Exactly. Cress is in the chat saying hello. Hello, Cress. Michael Korsgaard saying undercut him. But I imagine this will be a fight till the end between Blue Flag and Matt Cause, but for any mistakes.
Garner's
No.
pulling that lead out again.
Yep, 14 laps to go.
So do we have eyes on the penalties so far?
I won't be looking because otherwise it will show up on the stream and
Oh, yeah,
people
of
will miss
course.
it.
I'll look at it.
I haven't seen too many penalties though.
DJ was very.
Obviously,
very
the drive-through for prototype stuff.
Yeah, Matt Cause is close to blue flag again, so he's definitely quicker than him at the moment.
It's
He
only
just
Matt
is-
Coors having a penalty.
Yeah. Well, CJ's just gone quickest.
Yep.
But he is.
He's got his
8,
intermediates wound up.
yeah, he's 8 seconds behind Pagani though, so Matt Cause is close. He's very, very close.
Guy is finally in,
Good lad.
and Steph is coming through the chicane, so I think Steph's going to get him.
Yeah, but Goy be running in net point scoring position. Yeah, Matt Cause is right on the back of blue flag now. It's such a good run on him.
The other Red Bull is in now as well
Oh.
for his instance.
Matt Cause is ahead. Got the move done.
I've been weighing that up for a while, so.
Has been. So let's see if he can close up on Tomo in P5. Obviously with Matt Cause having his penalty as well. My Agent Pan is in the pits. Goy Karp has a near on, well, he's got a 15-second gap to the car behind him. So
Just has to relax.
in a good position is Mr. Karp this evening.
Yeah.
Alex Iwobi for
practice
Ballon
is paying
d'Or.
off.
Right. Okay.
Oh, Press, it was nice knowing you.
Yep. Thank you for your time with FTRL, Chris. At this rate, we'll have one division by the end of the night, but that's fine by me. Okay, well, not much going on. Section 3. Oh, Michael C.
Ooh, Michael C.
Oh, so unfortunate.
He's lost it near the
Out of
crossing.
Blanchimont, didn't he?
Yeah.
Blanchimont.
The cross-on.
Such a tricky corner. If you go
Yeah.
flat out, you will. It's so hard to not make a mistake.
Well,
Yeah, CJ was very brave through there a couple of laps ago. He took the entire curb and he still managed to keep it on track.
Michael C is going to be gutted, and I don't blame him. Very unfortunate for him. But that now means that everybody bar one driver will be scoring points this evening.
Which was what happened yesterday.
Yellow flag sector 3. What has happened? What has
Oh,
happened?
Steph has lost it at the exact same place.
Also,
God.
exit of Blanchimont. Yeah, it's such a tricky corner.
Yeah,
Together
God.
with Eau Rouge, it's so hard in the rain to manage.
And his pit, so.
Yeah, Steph's back in.
Oh, but I mean that. No, Agent Panda's too far behind, unfortunately. Agent Panda's come back out on wets.
Interesting call.
He might have made a mistake on his tyre choice. 'Cause I don't think it's wet conditions now, is it? Nah.
No, definitely not.
Not at all.
But
So
Well,
the closest
wing-
battle on track is TJ versus Hamilton for P2.
Yeah, that's not particularly close, is it? So,
Only
I,
9 tenths out, yeah. He
this
was
tends to
closer at the start of the lap.
this tends to happen at Belgium and FTRL. Doesn't seem to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
dirty
last
areas.
night.
Very
Yeah,
hard.
last night was a brilliant race, but yeah, I had a feeling if it was going to be a wet one tonight, it was going to be quite boring.
Pagani just putting out a 6.5 second lead.
Yeah, he's flying. He's in his zone now,
Definitely
though.
showing why he's the wet weather specialist now.
He's superb, absolutely superb in the wet.
I mean, I'm not far away from my prediction. I said Hammer Time third and Tomo second, so.
Not
Tomo's
bad,
fourth,
not bad.
Hammer Time is second, so.
Well, I think I said Tomo to win, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Come on, Tomo, put
You
your
can't
foot
come
down.
back at that.
Hammer Time gained a lot of time.
Oh,
He gained
look.
about 7 tenths.
My
CJ
OCD
did the
there.
fast lap.
My
one-
OCD 157.000. Yep. CJ will be getting paid after the race for that.
Ooh, will he go flat out through Eau Rouge? That's the question. I think he will be cautious, otherwise he might hit the back of Hamilton.
We're going to
He
go on
also wants
board.
to overtake.
He's
It's
gone
almost
back
flat out.
Yeah, as well.
Oh, we get a warning probably.
Yeah, definitely got a warning.
Hamilton probably defending inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
CJ's going to have him here, I think. Oh,
No,
I don't know.
think so.
Oh, it's
He's
going to be
currently in
close.
front, but he will.
Yeah, the brakes
Oh,
later.
he locks up.
Oh, CJ.
Oh, now he has to try to switch back on him. It's the only way. He tries.
He's a good
Well, I
exit.
think
managed
this
it.
answers your question anyway, Remco.
Oh.
Hamilton keeps it in front. Now he has the inside for the next one, and CJ lets it go. For now.
Going through Puon now. Best name.
It's great driving.
Best corner name on the calendar.
Yeah, as I was saying, that definitely answers your question from before, Remco. About
Sorry?
what about sort of what would CJ do now? Does he sort of take it easy? I mean, he's definitely not taking it easy.
No, he isn't. No, he's definitely pushing.
Definitely wants more points.
Who got pole tonight? Was it Hammer Time? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Hamilton.
Yeah. So before the race, he would have been 1 point ahead of Tomo.
CJ fled out through Blanchimont, Hamilton wasn't. Also had a little bit of a moment.
He's definitely going for it.
If you go flat out through Blanchimont, then you're definitely pushing in these conditions.
Michael Korsgaard says, does anybody live near Bury St Edmunds? Not really. It's quite accessible though from most places.
So Joe, it's now your turn to cast this battle.
Okay. CJ's going for a move.
CJ's going to
I
get
think
him
he
here.
might actually get it here. Yeah, I think he might
Well, it
get it.
depends who's got the biggest man genitalia.
Oh, you got it.
Ah, what a move.
That is a great move. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a great move.
Now, Hammer Time 95. How will he respond? Pagani still got 6.8 seconds.
I mean, I was about to mention that because I find it quite surprising that although these two have been going sort of side by side last sort of 2-3 laps, Pagani hasn't been pulling that lead out.
He's probably
Which is
just not wanting to push at all. Like,
Maybe.
Pagani's just in cruise control mode. He's not under any sort of pressure. He's got no penalties. I don't think he's probably too bothered, even if they get the gap down. Pagani, if I know
CJ's
Pagani,
definitely
he's
just
just
on
concentrating on himself. I will drink on my own then. Are you, Michael Korsgaard, are you currently in Bury St Edmunds? Because that would be a very strange place for a Danish person to go, I must admit. This battle for P2 is very close. Don't forget that Goy Carp and Paul James both have 10-second time penalties, as Ravers has pointed out. Thank you, Ravers.
Yep. I mean, at the moment, Goy has an 11 or 12 second lead now over Paul James, so Goy should be alright for 8th at the minute.
Yeah, well, sorry to the viewers.
I mean,
Yeah, not much going on.
It's very nice to see Goy doing well because he's been putting in a hell of a lot of practice for this track. So if he gets a good points finish here, then he more than deserves it.
Yeah.
Let's just CJ just. I think he just caught Pagani with 1 second in one lap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1 second.
It's 5.5 seconds now. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely have to keep an eye on that gap.
How what's the penalty situation like for Pagani and CJ? Have they got any warnings?
No, I don't think either of them have one.
Nope.
Not
Pagani's
even
got
one
lots of
warning.
like a Raging Panda, though.
A warning. Okay, that's good warnings. Pagani just had a warning. CJ has 2 warnings. That's it.
CJ is flying with me. Agent Panda is.
See, look, I don't understand. I don't understand why Marcus is just so abusive in these chats towards me. There's just no need for it at all.
Oh, it's down by another 4 tenths.
Whilst we're in this position and there's not much going on, if anybody has any questions for the commentary team, F1 related or of similar nature,
F1 related.
Whatever you like.
we need to keep it on theme. Please ask away. And Chicken Guy and Crest, you are banned from asking any questions, and anything you do say will not be read out. Matt Cause
picking up another penalty.
Yep, another penalty.
Saw Joe.
Well, Blue Flag's 7 seconds behind Matt Cause now, so he must have had a wobble.
Pagani just picked up the penalty, so you got 2-1 in 1 lap. So the gap is virtually only 1.6 seconds.
Feeling the pressure at the minute.
Yeah, the gap is shrinking.
Remco, can you please say shrinking again for the benefit of everybody in the world?
No. The gap is shrinking.
First time, the gap is shrinking. Shrinking.
What is your weird with my shrinking then?
Shrinking. Oh, that's my new favourite word of the day. Michael Korsgaard. Aaron, may I ask you a question? Of course. Of course you can.
Michael C says, what's the chance of CJ passing Pagani? I would say at this point, about 80% likely.
Yeah. I experience untold abuse outside of the YouTube streams. That's just a complete lie. If anyone gets it the most, it's either Goy or it's Joe.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Michael Korsgaard, are you any good at talking to girls? Well, I've been a lot more successful than young Matthias, as I do have a fiance, so I must have done something right. But yeah, with Matt Cause's hairline, I'm not surprised.
4.5 seconds now, the gap between the front two.
Yeah, I think Pagani will just try and manage this now. CJ is 1 warning away from a penalty, so he is going to be pushing hard.
And Michael C is very gutted after he had 130 laps of practice, he just said. Understandable in being in P2, such a good position, very unfortunate.
CJ down to 3.8.
Oh, it's coming down pretty quick. I think the drier it gets, the faster CJ will be, because it's kind of a flip with Pagani. He's very, very quick in the wet, and I would say with anybody in this division, he's probably the quickest in the wet. Whereas in the dry, I would say CJ is probably quicker. So it's going to be very interesting if this heads onto dries for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, knowing Pagani as well as I do, although if he does lose this to CJ, although he will be gutted, he will still be very happy with a P2.
CJ got very close to that wall then.
So look, Chicken Guy Crest, just stop it. Oh, CJ is about to be within range, although he hasn't got a lot of battery left. Pagani has quite a lot.
Oh, I wonder if Pagani's trying to draw him in, waste his battery, and then turn everything up and go again.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt that CJ is the fastest car on track at the moment, but he's having to readjust himself quite a lot there through CJ. Paul James has retired.
Everybody will score points.
Everybody will. We could see a Red Bull double point scoring finish.
I was about to say Red Bull
for the first time ever. Raver's Revenge in a second will go extremely mad in the chat, I would imagine.
He's probably already typing.
Yeah.
Matt Cole's picked up another penalty. I think that's his second.
Third. It's definitely Matt Coles' third. Now,
Type Steph is going extremely slow for some reason.
hold on. The rain has stopped.
Yeah, it has.
Now, I'm going to make a bold statement. If CJ picks up a penalty, Pagani will win this race.
I don't know, I just think CJ has way too much pace. And sector 2 yellows. Who is that? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what those yellows are for.
I think it was Agent Panda letting somebody through. Well, DRS hasn't been enabled yet. Pagani's in.
And CJ too.
So CJ. I'm assuming everybody will follow these guys.
Yeah, it's definitely dry. If you go one lap too late, you lose so much time at Belgium.
Yeah.
So matching the guys in front, matching your rifles is definitely the best thing to do.
Agent Panda's coming through the pit. Oh, he's spun.
Super Sols, of course. I mean, I think the Super Sols will have a hard time heating up in these conditions.
Yeah, they just need to be careful going up a rouge on cold tyres. Oh, Pagani!
Pagani's had a big moment out of the pit.
He has. He needs to warm these tyres up and he needs to do it
He
quickly.
lost 1 second in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of time.
Very cautious.
Someone's gone on the mediums.
CJ almost going flat out. Pagani wasn't. Gaining 5 tenths now through the first sector.
Yeah,
ever much more.
Well, providing there's no incidents, which is what we hoped for. Now, Goy Karp has to
If
come
CJ
in.
goes to win this, I have my prediction right. Sorry, boys. No comments? Okay.
No. Zero comment.
I mean, to be fair, we said if it rained. So if it was raining the whole
Yeah,
race, I think Pagani would have had it.
That's a
Well,
really
you didn't do the
interesting
gas
call
drinking.
from Tomo. Do we, lads? Do we think that that's a mistake?
That's what I mentioned that when he came out the pits, that he'd gone onto the mediums, which was a bit weird. Now, unless the famous engineer has made that call, I'm not entirely sure. But Matt Kors has now gone through. So 8th to 4th at the minute for Matt Kors, although he does have those 3 penalties. But on those supers, you'd expect him to be able to build a pretty good gap on Tunnel.
Yeah. Well, gap to the leader, 1 point. Well, basically 1 second.
Yeah, as soon as DRS. Oh, DRS has already been activated. I didn't even see that
Oh,
pop up.
there we go.
Now that is big. That
There we
is
go.
big.
What did he do?
I think
I think he went straight over the chicane.
Yeah. You
Okay,
could
that
have it
is
to
rubbish
Goy
short.
earlier. Now, if Pagani's sensible, he will realise this. If he keeps checking. A 10-second time penalty for CJ.
He will be in third still because Matt Kors got 6 seconds. No, I think so.
Pagani does not need to fight him here.
Oh, Pagani is really cautious through Rouge again. You can tell, well, he's losing 1 second.
Yeah, but Pagani's got a 7-second leeway to CJ now. So all he's got to
He
do...
knows that quickly?
Well, Jeff would normally say... And don't forget the hammer time will be in a party with him as well, so he's probably told him.
Yeah, of course. Then he probably knows.
So CJ is net... Well,
Third?
CJ's currently... Yeah, must be net third. Matt Kors has about half a year's worth of penalties.
Do you think I am to blame for CJ's penalty since I was a little bit too happy with my prediction?
definitely a comment
100%. Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
Without a doubt.
Sorry, CJ.
Can somebody please check how many penalties Prototype Steph has and how many Goy Karp has?
Steph's definitely catching him up.
Yeah. Well, we know Goy has that 10-second penalty.
Steph got none.
Steph's got none.
Nope.
It's looking like a 9th place for Goikart, which, I mean, it's still a very good result.
Oh, he'll be over the moon with
Still
that.
ahead. Oh no, he's no. Then he's tied with 18 Panda in the championship, isn't he? Yeah, give him 2 points.
Yep, here you go.
Well, Pagani needs to stay within 7 seconds, but I imagine with the aid of DRS he will stay much closer than that for the duration of this race. Blue flags, 5 second stop go penalty, so that's lost him the chance to overtake Matt Cause, I think, on penalties.
And Tomo choosing for mediums. Really interesting call.
It is an interesting call. I wonder why.
Oh, Pagani's going for the move on CJ.
Pagani does not need to do this. He does not need to do this, because if there's any collisions or anything like that, Pagani is ruining his own race win.
But I think just as Dutch did yesterday, he wants to get this on track win.
Yeah. Oh, of course he does.
So. It's obviously, yeah, there is no need to overtake, but yeah, being in the heat of the moment, wanting to win, wanting to prove that you can beat the championship leader.
Now, I've just checked the table as well, because you mentioned that Guy might go level with Agent Panda Remco.
Ugoi, penalty.
Agent Panda has only actually got 1 point, so Guy would actually overtake him.
Yeah, I mean, Agent Panda will get a point, but Guy will go ahead because he's got a higher point scoring finish.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Being in 9th position, do you get 3 points?
No, you get 2.
I completely forgot Panda was even in 10th.
Yeah, exactly.
My brain just mashed up there.
3 laps to go.
Ravers has made a good point. He said the 10-second penalty that Goyen and CJ have might be sent into the stewards and overturned. So he said Pagani might just be trying to cover himself off here, just in case that happens.
Maybe so. Oh, blue flag gets himself another penalty.
Pagani's going to have DRS here.
Oh, he's going to fly past him. Yeah.
There's not much CJ can do with that DRS open. Oh.
Well, prototype Steph is on the back of Goy Carp. Are we going to see defensive driving from Goy? Are we going to see a battle? A battle with the gravel by
He's
lots of
already
things.
trying to he's trying to use gravel as his defence.
Yeah. Kick it into his visor, get something in Steph's eye. Yeah.
Yeah. Great tactics from Guy. Oh, I think Guy had a little bit of a moment there coming out of left-hander.
Yeah, Steph's lifted off.
Oh, he's let him go.
Guy's gone wide.
Yeah, no.
He just lets him go.
Yeah, he's just wants to bring the car home, Goy.
Which is fair enough. I mean, he's getting points.
Well, he's there on merit tonight.
Yeah,
because he was already in the points.
CJ getting really close.
Yeah,
oh, lifting. No move possible there. Can go for a move now.
Ooh.
Goes
There's been
half.
history of these two throughout the season
Back.
coming together.
There you have it, Aaron. Go for the inside. Yeah, there is a move on the inside.
Always risky because of desync move, like sort of little movements like that. I always.
Pagani's got a great launch out of that first turn. Hang on,
Get back at CJ now if he goes flat out. He does.
Lads, has Hammer Time 95 got any penalties?
CJ leaving the inside open. Don't see why. Pagani now in P1 also.
Now, if I was
CJ.
Pagani, I would have waited until the last lap because now CJ has the advantage going into the next lap if he's still behind.
Has Hammer Time 95 got any penalties, lads?
Ooh, good question.
So, but I can check for you. 1 second. No, just
Oh, there
2-1.
oh, he's just got one. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
God. Right on cue.
he would have got it.
He probably would have won this race, but for that.
Because Pagani only got one, right? Or not?
Yeah.
Oh, he was so close. He would have got it. Yeah, it's 2.8 already. So unfortunate. At least for hammer time, because for Pagani it isn't. Pagani in low ERS in this section, trying to save everything for Rouge. Gets it in front. Yeah, CJ doesn't even want to go for a move, obviously.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
going
said
to
on
be
the
a
previous
very
lap.
interesting camel straight.
Well, thrilling end to the race.
52% ERS for CJ, on 48 for Pagani, so they both have plenty to go into Eau Rouge. Both in overtake modes. It's going to be flat out. CJ very close. 4 tenths already.
Massive drama.
Yeah, this is why I said Pagani should have been patient.
Yeah,
If
but
he'd left it
so much
until this
faster.
lap, he'd have
Leaves
got the win
inside
on track.
open. Probably
Yeah,
knows that he's
Paulson.
fine and that he gets the win already.
Well, a very thrilling end to what's been quite a boring race overall.
Boring race?
Well, I mean, it was for the middle part of it.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
very boring.
Yeah, okay.
Going through Pouon for the final time. I'm going to miss saying that. Hammer Time 95 has really flown up to these guys towards the end of this race.
Yeah, these guys battling has helped on the time a lot.
Well, it looks like on track CJ is going to win this.
Yeah, I'm sure Pagani won't mind though.
They both have the same amount of ERS, probably the same amount of fuel.
Yeah, Pagani knows he's not going to do anything.
Really
Nevertheless,
interested to hear what Hammer Time has to think of his penalty.
CJ effectively wins his 7th race on the trot, but he's going to lose out to that man in the Renault, the wet weather specialist. Pagani gets his first win of the season and his first division win for a very, very long time. So he's going to be over the moon with that. Hammer Time jump. CJ puts himself into 2nd. Matt Cause is going to come home in 4th, but he's going to lose out to Tomo. So P5 for Matt Cause. Blue Flag comes home in 6th. Good recovery considering he started 14th. Bendel deserves another mention. Another good point scoring performance.
And CJ not able to prolong his 6th win streak into a 7th.
Well,
I mean, if he sends the penalty into the shoes, it might get overturned. In which case, he'll be given the win, obviously. But
well, you never
I
know.
don't think so when you
Very
cut the
much.
bus up chicane. Yeah.
Don't really like removing penalties for stuff like that, but
So,
we'll have to wait and see. But nevertheless, Bendel crosses the line. Prototype Steph coming around the croissant for the final time.
Croissant.
so Zykley will be the last car to finish because Agent Panda has already crossed the line.
Exactly, gives Goy Karp a little bit of airtime. Prototype Steph comes home in P8, and Goy Karp.
Well, do you want to driver of the day while Guy comes across the line?
Yeah, well, and on any other day it would be Goy Karp for me, but given the circumstances, it has to be Pagani without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep, can't disagree with that.
If Goy spins now, I will laugh so much. But Goy Karp gets his first points of the season, and we will 100% get him in for the podium interview. Driver of the day from you two, lads?
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
you, mate.
Pagani, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Dominated in the wet and managed to bring it home. Regardless of CJ's penalty, I think, Pagani's done extremely well.
There we go, we'll give him that little bit of airtime. I mean, he was pretty much on the whole stream, but he'll say that an all British podium, we never see that in FTRL. It's always you bloody Dutchies.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Well, final classifications are Pagani takes the win. Hammer Time 95 comes home in P2. CJ comes home in third. Still a very good result for him considering where he started. Tomo doesn't move up or down any positions, doesn't get any penalties, so a good solid drive from him. Matt Caw's in P5, so a fairly good recovery. As for Blue Flag as well, comes home in 6th place. Bendel continues his fine form, ends up in P7. Prototype Steph didn't have the best of luck, but still gets himself 4 points. And then the 2 Red Bulls round off the top 10, which they'll be delighted with. And we have retirements from Paul James, Michael C, FTRL Hammer Time, City Posh Blue, Nexus Alaska, Nexus Cats, and the Preheated Oven. So we'll get the boys in for the podium interviews. And then we will wrap up for this week. Who came third? Hammer Time. Second, sorry. Yeah, I hate when people don't appear online. Actually, I don't think I am either at the moment, but... Right. We'll get these guys in.
So Aaron, who would you like to interview?
I will interview Pagani and I will interview Goy. So then it's between you two.
And I'll go with CJ then.
Okay.
If it's okay with Joe.
Yeah, I'll go second. No problem.
What happened?
Right, everybody is here. Lads, first of all, congratulations on your respective finishes. I will kick things off with what feels a bit weird interviewing you, Pagani, for actually winning a race. What happened, mate?
I don't know.
No, I didn't think you would, but I mean, first of all, I think that was largely down to, I mean, you had a very good start, and also your qualifying, because your last lap took you from what, 15th or 14th up to 5th.
Yeah,
So without,
I got it to 6th, so...
Yeah, without that qualifying lap, mate, that might not have happened tonight. But anyway, talk us through it. Talk us through it from sort of your perspective, especially at the start with all the thing with Michael C and whatever else.
Well, I mean, I got an average start. I think Tomo pulled to the left to go on the outside, so I had to quickly move to the right, the inside. I think I tagged Preheated Oven. If I did, I apologise for that. It wasn't intentional. Then everyone just seemed to fall off a bit in front of me, so I just sort of kept on the island.
Yeah.
But I think there was some desync between me and CJ. I mean, I was nowhere near on my screen, but he shot right violently.
Right.
I mean, I got it recorded, but
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen with me being in an incident. Like, I don't enjoy seeing people spin because of my car being on their screen and not on mine. It's not.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any problems, mate. We saw what happened with City Posh Blue. Going up a Rouge, was it just one of those cases where I think you just took more speed going up a Rouge, and I think you just obviously where he was going slower, you just kind of gave you nowhere to go. I think, is that how it was from your view?
Like I said on my screen, like, there was no contact. I didn't touch him. I was nearly half a car length behind him.
Oh, right. Well, God knows. Well, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But nevertheless, coming towards the end of the race, obviously with the wet weather conditions, you were looking very comfortable and whatnot.
I wish I stayed wet.
Yeah. And CJ was in quite an intense battle with Hammer Time, I believe. And then he finally managed to get himself through. Now, how conscious were you of the gap that was coming down? Because it was coming down very, very quickly.
As soon as it went to dry tyres, I knew both of them would catch me because I had a feeling they were on a dry setup. Because
Right.
they were catching me in the first sector and the last sector, but I was pulling away in the middle sector on the wet tyres.
Right. Yes.
Once CJ got past on the intermediate tyre, like, it was still catching me everywhere basically. But I mean, I'm not going to lie, CJ is 100% quicker than me. I'm not going to dispute that fact. I just got very lucky with my start, so...
Well, no, at the end of the day, mate, you was there on merit tonight, so that's a massive congratulations to you. Now, going into the race, I think you was 20 points behind Matt Cause. Obviously, you picking up 20 tonight. He ended up 5th, I believe. So you've gained, 10 points on him in one race. So that's got to give you a little bit of confidence going into next week.
It's not going to rain every week. I'm not going to get myself excited because I won a wet race. It's just I don't really have the pace of the front four. I don't think. I mean, you've seen how dominant CJ's been all season. He gets a gap and then goes like we don't see him ever again.
Yeah. Well, like I've said on multiple occasions, in my personal opinion, best Division 2 driver we've ever had by quite some margin in CJ. So, nevertheless, although we won on track tonight, mate, I think you deserve a lot of credit for sticking it out and getting yourself your first division win for a very, very long time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So well done, buddy. Right, Joe, do you want to move on?
Yeah, hammer time. Okay. I mean, you qualified on pole. Very, very good lap. We were all assuming we were wet set switch. So it came true. So, I mean, how was that race for you?
I'm a bit disappointed, if I'm honest, because I think I had the pace to win. I put a wrong set on by accident because I was running a high wing, and then I think that was telling me at the end when I was catching when CJ obviously overtook me and intermediates, it was just too quick on the straight, and I knew that he was quicker than me in the end. But I think if I didn't make a couple of mistakes, I reckon I could have been a different story.
Fair enough. I mean, you had that one mistake in the first sort of couple of laps, which drops you sort of 4 or 5 positions. But I mean, towards the end of the race, you were very quick. Obviously, the top 2 were fighting. I mean, talk us through that penalty you got. Was it because you was pushing so much, or?
I was trying to push just to try and gain some ground on the top 2 because I saw that they were pulling away when they pitted, and then I started to gain ground because they started battling. Now,
I mean, if you didn't have that penalty, you would have actually won. So, I mean, it's quite unlucky. I mean, on to Russia. I mean, are you feeling confident for Russia? Are you all right around there?
Yeah, I think Russia shows some good pace, but obviously that's like you have to be careful because it's quite a lot of track extending corner cuttings. You have to be careful of the penalties.
Fair enough. Well, congrats on the podium, mate. And a great pole position as well, so a couple of extra points there for you as well.
Cheers.
Okay, so I think that's me then.
Aye.
Yeah. So CJ coming home in P3. First of all, unfortunately, not being able to prolong your six win streak. How do you feel about having that record in FTRL?
I've stopped crying about it now. Only just. No, to be honest, I enjoyed the race. Qualifying was all right. I mean, obviously I picked a wet setup. I tuned it down a little bit, but not much. So like I said, I didn't expect to get anywhere near the top 6 or top sort of podium positions and for that. But then obviously the race started. It just seemed a bit weird. Like I say, I got a littlest tap ever from preheated oven and my wing broken. And after that, obviously, I was surprised I could maintain the gap for the front runners. And after that, like I say, the race got underway properly, and I pitted. Got my wing changed, and then I felt like I had some pace about me. But as it started to dry up, I think other setups started to play differently. So it was a strange race, but I really enjoyed it. Great battles.
Yeah. Okay. So you were talking about your qualifying.
Yeah.
So you used a kind of a wet setup then?
Yeah, I went full wet setup, all the way on the wing, obviously ride height and things like that. Like I detuned it a little bit, but not much. I set an half decent time with it, and I knew the race was going to come to me, and it wasn't about qualifying. So
No, it wasn't hard to be trying a wet setup in the dry for the first time.
Yeah, it's normally the way around. Normally you're doing a dry setup, or you got a dry setup with the wet race. But like I say, this time was the way around, and I sort of managed it quite well. Like I said, wasn't for the wing change. I think I might have won, but in the end, I just, like I say, really enjoyed some battles. It was really great fun. Like I say, that's what I wanted from the rain, and that's what I got. So, well done to Panini, because, like I say, it was a solid drive. At the end of the day, I don't think, even without some things that are happening, still don't think it would have been an easy one. So, great job for everyone, I think.
I don't know how I did it.
It was quality.
So CJ, what did you base your pit stop on? Because you were 1 lap earlier than the others, which turned out to be a great decision because you were catching 1.5 seconds in 1 lap. So what did you base that on?
I just like I said, I was speaking to Tom on the party chat, and I said, look, I can see a break in that cloud. It looks like it's drying up. I knew I had to change my wings. I thought I've got to make some time up, take a gamble, pit early, and it worked out to be spot on. So, like I say, I caught up and managed to pass Tomo, even with the wing change. So yeah, I just obviously worked my way back up to hammer time after that, and it was, like I say, I controlled it from there, really.
Yeah, okay. So just to round it up, next week Russia. How do you feel about that? What are your hopes for that one?
I'm hoping for a good one. I mean, penalties is what cost me tonight. I think it was well harsh what I got
Yeah.
on that first corner, because, like I said, I was late braking or whatever. But Russia's one of those tracks for me where I always get penalties. So hopefully I can avoid that. That's going to be the main thing. But I think really it'd be close. Me and Tom have practiced a lot around there. We're very, very close. I'm not too sure about hammer time and Maccords, but it's a track you can really dig in and get your elbows out a bit and overtaking quite a few places. So I look forward to it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
So over to Aaron.
Yeah, perfect. Right, finally, Mr. Guy Carp.
Hello.
Good evening, mate. How are you feeling after that one?
Buzzing.
Yeah, well, we obviously the reason why you're in here, we like to get somebody in that obviously hasn't got onto the podium specifically every week, but someone that's got themselves a good result, and with that being your first point scoring position, your first points with your wheel. Obviously, me myself, knowing how much practice you've been putting in today, you must be delighted with that. And the good thing about it as well was that even before retirements and stuff, you was in P8, P9 on merit, so that must have given you a bit of confidence as well, mate.
It just I don't even know what to say. I'm genuinely over the moon with like how today went. I obviously put quite a bit of practice in. When I saw that it was wet to dry, I was dying inside because I've done absolutely no wet practice. So to hold off, and thank you very much, Panini, for your setup, because it worked an absolute dream. An absolute dream.
Well, this is one thing.
Got me through.
This is one thing I was going to say to you. Obviously, with it being Belgium in the wet, obviously you're on your wheel. Now, what went through your head at that point when you saw that it was going to be a wet race? Because, like I said, you did no practice on it at all. Was you kind of cussing underneath your helmet at that point, or was you? How was you feeling?
It was just the same old, big sigh. The biggest concern is that, no, because you practice on a setup, what you want to try and do, and then when it rains, and obviously you have to then change the setup. It's a completely new setup, and I was very concerned that, especially with it being like full wet, that I would just lose it on Eau Rouge or something like that. But
yeah.
Slow and steady, man. Slow and steady, and like you say, I managed to work my way up, which was just so good.
Exactly. Well, like I said, mate, massive credit. Other than if it wasn't for Pagani's brilliant drive tonight, then we all sat here and agreed you would have got our driver of the day from all of us. So,
thanks, man.
One final question for you, mate. Obviously, Russia next week, your favourite track, one you've been looking forward to driving for a long time.
Cannot wait.
Will this result tonight and this performance give you a bit more confidence going into that?
Yes, 100%. I'm going to sweat the hell out of Russia and hopefully can try and repeat what happened tonight, man. Get some more points.
Yeah, man. I mean, have you got a specific aim in mind? Are you trying to just beat your teammate, or are you just going to try and collate some points? What's the aim
for Russia?
Yeah,
just points. Not necessarily beat my teammate. If anything, I want us both to finish. And if we can both grab points, it'll be great. Great for the team.
Yeah, well, that's actually one final question. You both got in the points for the first time this evening. How? Yeah, that must be a nice feeling. Obviously, all jokes aside, you boys get a bit of stick and there's a good lot of banter flying about, with Red Bull and whatever. But for the fact that you both got yourself in the points tonight as well, and it was earned on merit, you must both be well happy with that.
Yeah, we're both over the moon. Partner was a bit upset. He had a few incidents in the race that he had to pit more than he would have liked to. But yeah, we both said at the end we're both over the moon. 3 points, towards our points total. So
exactly. Well, massive congratulations to you, mate. If of all people in the world, I'm absolutely delighted for you. So, right,
Cheers,
so that puts an end to Belgium for what's been a thrilling couple of races this week. We are at. Can't remember what track are we at tomorrow for performance? Anybody help me out with that?
Hungry, I think.
Yes, good shout.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if ever there's going to be a time to plug, this is going to be it. The last time we had a performance race at Hungary, it was one of the greatest races FTRL have ever had. So you do not want to miss that tomorrow. Also, please join us Thursday for rounds 9 and 10 of our GT Sport League. And then next week we'll be back for round 10 of the Championship. And championships could be won. So we'll have to wait and see. So please come and join us in. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.